Coinbase is down right now, and not just a little glitchy. We're talking about the entire trading engine going completely unresponsive. Users locked out of their accounts, transactions failing, and orders unable to execute. And here's the part that makes this sting even worse. The timing could not have been worse. Let's talk about what actually happened, what you should do right now while it's still down, and what this situation is quietly telling you about how you have your crypto set up. So here is what we know. Coinbase flagged the issue around 6 in the evening Pacific time. The disruption follows an Amazon Web Services data center in Northern Virginia overheating. That's right, one of the largest crypto exchanges on Earth, a publicly traded company handling billions in daily volume, went dark because a data center got too hot. Coinbase pinpointed the disruption to a specific availability zone, US1-AZ4 in the AWS US East 1 region, where temperatures had spiked. And Coinbase's official response? This issue is related to a broader AWS outage. We're monitoring closely and working to restore full service. We'll continue to update. Your funds are safe. Your funds are safe, that sentence is technically true. Your crypto has not been stolen, but safe and accessible are two completely different things. And if you needed to make a move today, if the market was doing something and you needed to react, safe does not help you. Safe sitting behind a wall you cannot get through is just another way of being locked out. Now, here is the context that makes today hit differently. This outage did not happen on a quiet Thursday. Yesterday, Coinbase reported a staggering surprise loss of $1.49 per share. Revenue missed expectations, coming in at $1.41 billion compared to the expected $1.52 billion. That is a $394 million net loss for the quarter, a reversal from analyst expectations that ranged from modest profitability to near break-even. And just 2 days before those earnings dropped, CEO Brian Armstrong announced a 14% workforce reduction, affecting roughly 700 employees, framing the layoffs as part of a broader shift toward a leaner AI-native organization. So the sequence of events this week on Coinbase goes mass layoffs on Tuesday, missed earnings and stock down 4% after hours on Thursday, and then a full platform outage the same night. The catastrophic technical failure is a brutal capstone to an already punishing day for the company. Now, let's be clear, this is not a reason to panic about your crypto. Your holdings are not at risk. Coinbase is not collapsing. But what today is a very loud, very visible lesson about a mistake that millions of crypto holders are making right now without realizing it. And that lesson is this. If your only access point to your crypto is a single centralized exchange, you are one server rack overheating away from being completely frozen out of your own assets. So let's talk about what you should actually do right now while Coinbase is still down. First thing, do not refresh the Coinbase app 50 times. It will not speed up the recovery. What you should do instead is go directly to status.coinbase.com. That is the official status page. It updates in real time and it tells you exactly which components are affected, whether it's trading, sends and receives, the website, the mobile app, or all of the above. Watching that page tells you when things are coming back online without the anxiety spiral of staring at a blank loading screen. Second, check whether this is affecting you personally or affecting everyone, because sometimes what feels like a platform-wide outage is actually a localized issue. Try logging in from a different device. Try switching from Wi-Fi to mobile data. Clear your app cache. These sound obvious, but a surprising number of outages people report are actually device-specific connection problems, not platform failures. If it's still broken after all that, it's the platform, and you just have to wait. Third, if you have been meaning to set up a self-custody wallet and you have been putting it off, let today be the day you stop putting it off. Not right now in the middle of an outage, but today when Coinbase comes back online. Because here is the fundamental truth that today just illustrated in the most direct way possible. When your crypto sits entirely on an exchange, you do not truly control it. The exchange controls it on your behalf. That works perfectly fine 99% of the time, but that remains remaining 1%, the outages, the unexpected freezes, the moments when markets move fast and you can't get in, those moments cost real money and real opportunity. A self-custody wallet changes that entirely, whether that's a hardware wallet like a Ledger or Trezor for your long-term holdings, or a software wallet for smaller amounts you want accessible quickly. Having a portion of your stack outside a centralized exchange means an AWS data center overheating in Virginia has zero effect on your ability to access your own assets. Fourth, think about whether you're using more than one exchange right now. Most people have one. Coinbase goes down, they're completely stuck. Having a secondary exchange account, whether that's Kraken, Gemini, or another regulated platform you trust, means that when one platform has issues, you can still execute trades if something urgent comes up. This is not about chasing better fees or different coins. It's purely about redundancy. The same way you wouldn't keep every dollar you own in a single bank, you probably shouldn't keep every crypto asset on a single platform. Fifth, if you had open limit orders or pending transactions on Coinbase when the outage hit, check your order history the moment the platform comes back online. Don't assume your orders executed. Don't assume they were canceled. Verify every single one before placing new orders, because acting on the assumption that something happened when it didn't can create doubled positions or missed entries that cost you real money. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because there's something bigger happening here that today is really just a symptom of. An opinion piece from late 2025 noted that an earlier AWS outage showed how many Web3 services still depend on a few large cloud providers, and that observation is still completely valid today. Coinbase, one of the most sophisticated crypto platforms in the world with billions in revenue, runs a critical piece of its infrastructure on AWS. When AWS has a problem in a single availability zone in Virginia, Coinbase's trading engine goes dark. That's a single point of failure for what's supposed to be a decentralized financial ecosystem. And this is exactly why the infrastructure conversation around blockchain native settlement matters so much. The whole premise of assets like XRP, XLM, and others built for real-time settlement is that the rails themselves are distributed. The XRP ledger processed over 3 billion transactions since 2012 and has never gone down. Not because it has better engineers than Amazon, because the architecture itself doesn't depend on a single data center in a single availability zone staying cool. Today is not an indictment of crypto. Today is an indictment of building decentralized financial tools on top of centralized infrastructure. Those are two very different things. Your crypto is fine. Your access to it was temporarily someone else's problem to fix, and the lesson from that gap is worth acting on when things come back online. Check the status page, be patient, and when Coinbase is back up, take 30 minutes to think seriously about whether your current setup leaves you one outage away from being locked out again. If this gave you something useful in the middle of a frustrating situation, hit the like button. It helps push this to people who are currently locked out and spiraling instead of staying calm and thinking clearly. Subscribe, because when things like this happen, this channel will always be the place that gives you the real context, not just the headlines. And drop a comment with this: are you using more than one exchange right now, or is Coinbase your only access point? That answer matters more than most people realize. Stay calm, your stack is fine.